The introduction to Overlook's hedge maze starts as the group walks away from it. The maze is topped by pyramids. They soon encounter a red snowcat, the first blood-red object featured so prominently since the elevator scene. The snowcat's form dissolves toward a right-angled love seat near the entrance to the gold ballroom, which turns out to have plenty of blood-red furniture. The maze's entrance is topped by a half-circle that keeps showing up, and we see eye-shaped forms in the poster and elevator dial. "I found him outside looking for you," Danny says. Susie, a redhead like the Doctor, steps in to help Danny. "Did you get tired of bombing the universe?" she asks. Another nod to Danny's origin as the Star Child from 2001, when the final act, never shown, involved destroying Earth's orbiting nuclear weapons. Danny's jacket reads Flyers, hinting at his conscious duality and Tony's eagle spirit journey at the film's start. They meet Halloran in the Gold Ballroom. The old American quest for passage to the Orient and gold feels echoed here. Halloran's outfit stands out. The staff in the ballroom come off like parodies of a colonial battlefield. Halloran appears as an Uncle Tom figure, a kind of performance mask, while Grady seems like a stodgy butler. They act like cartoon characters, and it's worth noting Scatman Crothers once voiced Disney characters. Kubrick, much like how he frames Ullman's office and the shots of Ullman and Jack, uses two orientations, left and right, to frame the ballroom. He introduces the ballroom through lateral tracking shots that push us into these left-right mirror worlds. Eye-like forms, including posters and elevator imagery, appear as half-domes above the golden stage at the back. The ceiling and rear wall echo Ullman's office window, light fixtures and shelves. We keep seeing both sides of the mirror. This is shown by how a ladder seems to toggle between Halloran's shoulders. Danny crosses this mirror boundary from the right side to join them on the left. The parallax lines formed by the ceiling bring to mind 2001's Beyond the Infinite sequence. The ceiling also suggests a blend of Aztec and Mayan temple interiors and exteriors, not mixed with suspended Tudor crown chandeliers. The sun god is not just worshipped here. It's turned into a shimmering spectacle, day and night. The tables are shaped like moons. Achieving their color in a mostly yellow-toned room is tough, but here they stand in contrast. They represent the moon as an unworshipped descendant, holding up alcohol and tobacco. The carpet, one of 3 wall-to-wall patterns in the film, features the Mayan logoglyph Khan, made of pink, gold and brown, with blood red separated out. Khan means yellow and is both a logoglyph and a cosmogram of the sun. According to Reading Maya Art by Stone and Zender 2011, this equal-armed cross, widely used in ancient Americas, was often linked to the sun. While Khan is a coded Mesoamerican symbol, variations appear worldwide in prehistoric cultures. Early entoptic symbols, bar, dot, tridot, are noted by Brian Hayden. Khan is the first communicable representation of the sun in the Americas. Kubrick links the gold ballroom to the Mayan symbol for yellow through its carpet, creating a flow of deep ideas. This finishes the cosmologies introduced so far. The film now has both North and Central Mesoamerican information systems. Groups like the Navajo, Apache, Crow, and Blackfoot had no written language but encoded narratives in signs and symbols. Now we also see Aztec and Maya cultures, which developed syllabaries of logograms, logoglyphs, and ideograms. They bypassed Western and Indo-European systems entirely. Dick Halloran arrives carrying an optically clear, teepee-shaped ladder on his shoulder, with a man standing on it. This is our first hint that Halloran may have special abilities. The man on the ladder even appears to be whispering secrets in Halloran's ear. Consider the Khan symbol. It's paradoxical that the day is celebrated in a room with no sunlight. The day represented by Khan is walked upon, as the yellow sun's symbol rises from an underworld. Inside the Overlook, time, daylight, and artificial sunlight constantly play off one another. At distinct points, interview, closing day, Tuesday, 4 p.m., The Shining contracts its sense of time, ending in a fraction of a second on a date that counters the looser measures at the start. In the film's opening, we see an infinity of time, reflected in the landscape's interview. Mayan time expands outward from a center of creation. As the future stretches, so does the past. Western time, however, leaps forward over key moments, moving from creation to birth to death. Here, the horror lies in being trapped inside a single millisecond, a brief flash at the end of the film that predates its beginning, freezing time in a nightmarish Western stasis. Gold Ballroom. There is a crucial play on words here, as the yellow tennis ball will be the only ball we see consistently. Once decoded, this set becomes an inverted ball court, with the ceiling acting as the playing field and a repeating sun image on the floor, as though the sky now lies below. This ritual game was central to Mesoamerican societies, blending warfare, sun worship, and sacrifice to ensure the sun's continued movement and reappearance. The conquest of the Americas introduced the Europeans to rubber, first observed by Cortes as part of a spiritual game involving human-sun interaction. Rubber was then harvested extensively through the 18th, 19th, and part of the 20th century, as documented in Roger Cassament's diaries. The yellow tennis ball we see is evidence of this colonization and a powerful distillation of the sun-worshipping ball game that existed in Mesoamerican cultures until the 1600s. The ball Jack throws remains a sun object, now conquered and absorbed into English game codes, returning to the hotel as a kind of prompt. It is a teasing device the spirits employ, with the games room concept extending into every corner of this space. The kitchen tour parallels their later exploration of the maze. It teaches Wendy how to use the hotel's portal-like qualities, whether she realizes it or not. Jack never enters the kitchen except when dragged there by Wendy, and he never leaves the hotel until the film's end. Kubrick elevates these continuity tricks into a form of phenomenology. The film is filled with possibly hundreds of altered orientations of props, directions, and entrances. Pay attention when Halloran opens a freezer door on one side of the hallway and they exit on the opposite side. Notice how the door's orientation shifts. Kubrick shows that the hotel is a shifting, living engine where doorways defy logic and act as portals. Even the kitchen itself has bizarre openings scattered throughout the building. Later, as the film examines other passages, Wendy leaves the lobby and steps into a red-tinted section of the hotel. Instead of an elevator behind Ullman's office, she finds a doorway to the kitchen, and moments later she reappears in a darkened, cobwebbed version of the lobby. The final key shift appears during this lobby split. The mirror entrance to the maze, once turned 90 degrees away from the hotel, now faces it by the end of the film, which Kubrick reveals with a rightward camera pan. Danny has already recognized the maze's final opening. By studying both its outer and inner mirrors, he confuses his father inside the hotel and lures him toward a maze entrance only Danny seems to know about. Wendy's discovery of the lobby, moonlit and covered in cobwebs, is another example of the hotel's mirrored alternate state. By moonlight, the men become sun worshippers, as hinted by Danny's Apollo sweater. Everything you've seen in the film is one-sided, single-minded. The lights have never truly been on. They are illusions. To the outside world, the Overlook is a conjured space, a perpetual day without any true night. Frozen meat suggests another room filled with red, but here frost covers it with white. This space contains the essence of death, foreshadowing Jack's eventual demise outside. It feels as monochromatic as black and white images. In the dry storage room, a zoom reveals Halloran mirrored by Calumet baking powder cans, appearing on both his left and our right, placed at right angles. Yellows, oranges, and greens counterpoint the frozen, monochromatic hell of the cold storage. As music begins, it cues that Shining is taking place, seemingly triggered by the visual mirroring between Halloran and the only modernized Indian cartoon, an unanimated archetype of a Native American just behind him. The Calumet, originally the Iroquois peace and war pipe, was accepted into treaties as a contract, only to be dismantled by evolving US government policies. Jack will be imprisoned here, just a step away from the frozen mirror in which he will meet his end, mirrored in time. The kitchen's maze reflects the one outside. Danny's favorite food, French fries and ketchup, yellow and red, echoes these elemental color codes. The dry goods storage is asymmetrical, while the mausoleum-like cold storage for frozen meat remains perfectly symmetrical. This sequence is brilliant. As the group departs, leaving Danny and Halloran behind, it suggests that Halloran can still hear them even when they are out of earshot. It is as if they never truly leave the aura of his mind, shown through a dissolve. Both parties are visually reversed from one another, and we end with a dissolve of the group moving farther away into Halloran's head. He then begins with, "Do you know how I knew your name?" Just after Kubrick has subtly shown us how this works. Subtle, distant voices echo throughout the scene. Arrow-like forms now point downward, and the knives on the column in the background aim toward the underworld. The favorite flavor is chocolate, linking back to cocoa, an inadvertent result of the American conquest traced to the Aztecs and Cortez. Halloran emerges as a protector, first testing the validity of Tony's advice, then warning Danny about the Overlook and discouraging further curiosity. Danny has eaten from a silver chalice, clasping it with his arms. Both he and Halloran gesture with their hands as they speak, with the initial pose resembling collective prayer. These gestures shift with each shot, defying continuity. Danny is a seer like Halloran, and objects and heads shine in this space. The shine in Danny's chalice and the shine of Halloran's head share a deliberate similarity in shape and significance.
Say